My name is Kerry, a lower limb amputee, or below the knee amputee as some call it, and I have been this way for a year and a half. A quick backstory is I had a motorcycle accident almost 12 years ago, and through many surgeries after several years they were not able to repair my talus bone in my foot, and so my husband and I opted to cut off my leg. I had a very poor quality of life and I could not play with my kids outside productively, so we decided to go with quality over quantity of limbs, and it has been one of the best decisions that I made. The hardest, but one of the best decisions I've ever made. I feel like I got my life back. So if you're facing this and you would like to look back at some of my previous videos, I have documented everything from before I knew I would be an amputee, and you can go binge watch those if you want. Also, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments or email me. My email address is in the description below so that I can help with anything that you might be going through. If you have a question during your journey of trying to decide how to amputate, or you know, the best fitting whatever, I might be able to help, I might not. I have this much experience with it, so feel free to leave a comment or send me a direct message of some sort with email or on social media, and I'd be happy to answer your question if I can. My socket is a carbon fiber suction socket. I'm at an event right now. I'm waiting for my son to finish up, so I don't have it exposed. I can't show you, but you can look back on a couple of other videos. But it has been extremely painful for me lately, and I've documented that as well and why, and you can check that out. So I've had to live life without it here and there. When it works, it works. When it doesn't, it really doesn't, and I can't wear it. So I wanted to show you what life looks like when I can't wear my socket, because I didn't know how that would look before deciding to amputate. So I wanted to give everybody a good picture of what that might look like at home, especially as a mom with small kids, being an amputee, and also a single mom, quote unquote, because my husband is in and out due to the nature of his work. He is home very rarely, and we never know when he's gonna pop in and when he's not. I live life like anyone else. I have dishes, laundry, and every single day. But most importantly, I need to make food for people. When I need help from my kids with the chores, the little chores, I ask, but food is not something that the kids can really help with. Because of the safety issue, I'm not going to show you what it looks like to sweep or mop or vacuum. I can't risk falling or getting hurt just for the sake of making a video. And whenever I need help doing those things, I make sure to ask somebody else. My mom might come over, or my oldest son might help out with some of those tasks. I don't risk that on the knee scooter. But the reason that I bring that up is because you might have to make some accommodations during the time that you might not be able to wear your leg. And I didn't show you this either, but can you imagine how hard it would be to unload a dishwasher on a knee scooter when dishes go in various different cabinets? It's not easy, I promise. And here's the thing, I can absolutely forget about leaving my house whenever I don't have my socket on, because I have steps, about 10 or 12 steps going outside of my house, and there would be a way if it was an emergency, but there's almost no way for me to productively get 2 kids and my wheelchair or my knee scooter outside safely with whatever else we have to get. And even if I could get out to the car, then getting into the car is not safe. I have to load said walking aid in the back of my car, hop to the driver's seat, and then hop out whenever it's time to get out as well, to get those things out of the back of the car. And it's just not safe at all, especially when I add kids to the mix. Kids do silly things like run out into the street and stuff like that, and I have to be able to grab them quickly. So whenever it comes time to not being able to wear my socket, I just determine that there is no way that I can leave the house. So in that regard, that is something else that you want to take into consideration if you are going to be in this position. You want to make sure that you have somebody, anybody around you that can help you in those situations, because you are going to find yourself in a position where you can't wear your limb eventually. Whenever I don't have my prosthetic leg on, mainly I use a knee scooter, because I'm actually very dangerous on things like the iWalk or crutches. So I don't use them at all, actually. There's also a wheelchair, and If I was off of my leg for a long period of time, then I would opt to use my wheelchair because my sound leg, my right leg, gets very tired on the knee scooter from bearing all the weight all the time. It's twice as much weight as this leg was meant to bear all day long on a consistent basis. So it wears out very, very quickly. I've actually learned how to adapt living on a scooter and have a few little tricks like hanging the laundry basket on the front of it. My oldest actually came up with that whenever he was playing with my scooter whenever I had my amputation. And anyways, they can be very handy. Children can be very handy at coming up with little hacks like that. So if you have some, you might watch them and see what they do because you might learn something fun like that. Life isn't always perfect, but it does not mean that we can't enjoy it or get the tasks completed maybe in a different way. To be honest, my 3-year-old doesn't care what the house looks like. He doesn't even care if I have a leg. All he cares about is if he has food and if mommy plays with him. And for that reason, I will 100% always show up for him, whether I have a leg or not. Life around the house is okay without a prosthetic leg. It's outside of the house or getting the deep down chores finished. If I have to run errands or go grocery shopping or pick people up from school or sweep or mop or vacuum, things like that can be very difficult without a prosthetic leg, and it lends itself to a bigger challenge for sure. But all in all, life around the house, if you have to be off of your prosthetic leg for a couple of days, it's not 100% bad. In fact, it's kind of nice to have the break sometimes of, oh, can't do the dishes, oh, can't clean the house, you know, things like that. So take it for what it is, but just know that it will inevitably happen. And when it does, life is not over. Just find a way to adapt a little bit. Find a different way of doing it. Enjoy the time that you have. And then whenever you get your leg back on, you'll be off and running and get all those things done. The house can wait. The errands can generally wait, so to speak. But make sure that you have a good support system to help you through those times that you might find yourself in whenever you can't wear your prosthetic leg. And there are a ton of reasons why you can't. Maybe it's ill-fitting at the moment. Maybe you have a sore on your leg or your limb that isn't healing properly, and so you need to rest it for a week or so. Something like that could always happen, and so it's just best to be prepared for it so that it doesn't surprise you whenever it does happen. A good rule of thumb is I always, as an amputee, pick up the house before I go to bed. And the reason is twofold. It's safety, number one. So if for whatever reason there was an emergency, we're not tripping over anything to get out of the house. But number two is if for whatever reason I wake up in the morning and I cannot get my leg on, or it is just not a leg day, then I can very easily get around on my scooter or my walking aid of choice, get to food, get to juice for the kids, get people settled into their homework or whatever it might be, instead of having to pick up the house and trip over items in order to get to those necessities. It just makes it that much easier to be an amputee, especially a single amputee mom. I hope that you guys found value in this video. Please like and subscribe if you did. Share it with somebody who might need it, and I will see you on the next video. You guys have a wonderful day.